real quick, I want to let people know I won't be able to stay on like late, so like 3:30 or 4, I will have to go because I've got some packing I need to finish up.
Um, yeah, no big deal. We'll see how things go. See where we bring a
What's
stops
it
to
at
from around.
2:30 or 3 for us?
My time, 3:30 or 4. I said. Did I say 2:30 or 3? I meant 3:30 or 4.
No, I'm translating for us.
Yes, that.
Cool, cool, cool. All right. So yeah, so you guys had split the party. The party just went everywhere on their own, all over the place. Um, we had met up with uh Tiburon to check out what's going on at the hold. Found out we're missing a golden hex rod, and Tiburon is not too happy about it. Um, also, Vito from the Rock said he's looking for help in his discoveries because all of his diggers had to go because he lost funding. And it has nothing to do with the loss of that golden hex rod. It's definitely about something else. And we had Zendira go out to check the crops. Found some crazy stuff going on out in there. Met up with Ilix, and you both ended up meeting up with Grins at the main hold, uh, right outside.
See, nothing bad came from splitting the party. Let's do that again sometime.
Not this, yeah, just do it in a more dangerous spot. That's what we need to do. That's where we get results.
3 dragons?
So
No problem. We got this.
one each. Matter of fact, you two take on that one. I'll take the other two. Um,
Well,
so
let's
you all met
do
up
that. There's
outside.
two of us working on it, so
Yeah, see? So, you all met up outside the front and got an interesting announcement from Vito here at Rossmar. He says the Jewels are looking for people to come make negotiation terms out front with our rivals from the other side. He's like, and that's all the announcements I have today, children. Tune in next time on the Rocks with Vito. And then he disappears, went back into like some soft, sultry tavern tavern music that starts sultrily playing in the background. Um,
no, I did not realize sound was coming from the rocks before a weird man just started talking directly out of them. Does that freak anybody else out?
I thought it was perfectly natural.
just
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 like, yeah.
softly vibrates a dim color
I thought
every
everybody
now and
talked to
then for
rocks.
me.
Yeah.
I got no. Normally I'm with Zen, but the lizard has a point.
That's actually very offensive because there are lizard people. Very-
Alex overlooks it momentarily. A big old a big old wagon goes down the street with a couple of rocks in the back, and it's like, there's impressive base.
That's what it is. All right.
Probably announcing like, vote for so and so in your upcoming.
Right.
Mm. Well, I believe we have opportunity in this call for negotiators. But I am concerned if we wait too long, Golden Hexrod will possibly fall into wrong hands.
Where are we in the town right now?
Uh, it is not quite center of town. There's a town square, um, or town center, I guess it's round. Um, and you guys are off towards the west a bit. Um, that main road cuts through the center and then kind of goes out towards this larger hold that kind of goes up this hill on that side.
Okay. Cool.
Which is on the opposite end of where all the actions outside. But up on this hill, you do get a slight peer over the wall, and you get to like get a good like view of at least the front line and the river, and then almost the entire other army before it starts to fade off into some morning fog that's slowly starting to dissipate. Now it's starting to get a bit more noon.
Okay.
And we've got a delivery that we have to pick up here in the next
That's
2 days, is it?
3 days, yeah.
3 days? Okay. All right, so still got some time.
Which you also heard advertisements off of the rocks, for the Hammer and Ville.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did we know from our friend what the nature of that delivery was? I'm trying to remember.
It was a crate.
A crate. Okay.
We didn't ask, and we're not being paid to know. That's the way I like it.
I said a crated shipment, I believe, is all he really said it was.
I'm sure it doesn't
I'm
have,
just
like,
kidding.
a
I'm
golden
totally
hex
gonna peek
rod
inside that crate.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no golden hex rod inside or anything like that.
I'm sure it's nothing of RPG significance.
Okay.
Well,
Uh,
so let me see if I've got this right. You two want to try your hand at negotiating.
Well, I was kind of hoping you would try your hand at negotiating.
ooh.
Oh, I see how it is. We have kidnapped a silver-tongued goblinoid, and now we will use him to do all of the heavy lifting and conversations. Is that how this works? That's fine. Cool.
No, a silver-tongued goblinoid has attached itself to our boots, and we cannot get rid of him.
Not everybody is that lucky.
Completely turn that conversation around.
All right.
All right, well, I have one real quick errand I need to run, and then I'll be good for heading over and chatting with these other reasonable people on the other side of the valley. I start hopping down the stairs, heading towards the general store.
Have you been here before?
Yes, yesterday. We'll catch up real soon.
Yeah, technically yesterday,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh,
Everybody's
okay,
been
makes
here before
sense.
now at this point. Been here effectively. All right. So we're heading to the general store with grins. It's not too far away. You head down and around the center. They have more of the general store, cobblers, other, tailors and such.
So let
That
me
does not include.
Okay, let me rephrase. I'm looking for the store that I met the Goliath in.
Oh yeah. So you head back into that area. She's sitting there. She's sitting there. She's like flipping through a book and just looks up a little bit and just kind of sits up real slow.
And I ask her, "How's keeping watch?"
She repeats the lines and it starts to. She picks the coin, sets the other one down. She goes, better than usual, but we have a problem.
Oh, how's that?
This is coming from me. I'm a Goliath. I come from Flutenheim. I'm starting to see some of my kind around. but they're not in the general uniform. So I'm worried they might be defectors. While it doesn't pertain to us too bad, that they may cause issues that give everyone grief. So keep an eye out while you're about doing your work. They might get in the way for getting in the way's sake.
Does this amount of conversation come through, or is this dubbed over?
Oh yeah. Grins came back in looking to buy something he had exclaimed he would come back for later because he was looking at better prices.
It
And
was
they are
definitely shoe
haggling.
leather. It was shoe leather.
Yes, it was definitely shoe leather. And she is
Who's
fumbling, and she has, and on her end, she has her arm out like this, and there are like 8 different varieties and colors of shoe leather that she's going over, and pointing out. And Grins is looking very very in tune to what she's trying to say to him. Every now and then, gosh, with a 17 in perception, every now and then, when you look away and then you look back, the shoelaces are, just barely not the same color. Like they just come down a shade or up a shade, and you're like, were they? It's like, is the light coming in different through the window, or what's going on here? But it's like barely hitting. Like you're just like, oh, just barely is hitting that back of your mind. Like that's not the same. That's not the same.
Is it enough that I can pay a little closer attention to it and see if I notice anything additional?
I mean, that's So it's like pinging. You can try to roll higher than a 17.
Oh, come on!
You have the worst perception.
I have the worst dice. There is
He has the best perception. That's the problem.
I'm pretty sure it's his perception
I
now.
He has the best perception. That's the problem.
I built Ilix to be able to move around easily and to notice everything. Those are the 2 things that I just hammered down.
I mean, that's a 7. That's a +7. Like it's good perception. Alex just doesn't seem to pay attention a lot. Like when it does catch his eye, it catches his eye immediately. He's like, oh.
There's a new ranger feature from Tasha's that gives the rangers expertise, which usually is just a bards and rogues thing. I have expertise in perception and a high wisdom score, and I still roll like crap.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah,
Saying as he's-
definitely like with that 7, like you go to like, okay,
You know what?
maybe there's something up, and like there is literally a point where they repeat a conversation from yesterday, like verbatim, and you're like, oh, deja vu. You're like, did they actually talk about that?
We already have bags for we already have containers for gel. If this is all you're talking about, we need to move.
Anyway, she also says that, and I've lost word of the brother. Jackal doesn't know yet.
should we tell him?
When he comes around, yes. But this is at my post. He's traveling a lot around the Great Expanse, so... But if you run into him, let him know. He still thinks he's playing this little game of catching the golden goose. And I don't think quite yet he knows he's the only player now.
Well, one of the things Grins wanted to do when he came here was make sure that he gives her a full outline or a copy of the the war plans that he stole. Make sure that those get back in case something happens to him.
All right. It looks like sheets of IOUs to everyone else. And she is heavily, it looks like she is heavily like thinking deep in her mind whether or not she really wants to accept these. And it almost feels like she's like, this is.
I don't trust the Beyond Dice anymore. Okay.
But yeah, so it's like it's going, and she picks them up and she goes, "No, I figured. That's good. I'll relay these. I heard there are negotiation plans. Are they doing it themselves?"
They've elected to have a outside source perform these negotiations.
Smart. Maybe
I
we won't see
volunteered.
these. Good. Maybe they won't need these, and we'll keep these for future strategies if we need. He kind of puts them away and hands you illusionary leather leather shoelaces, and then is like, "It's good doing business with you. I have to keep watch."
Well, as always, I wish you the best. Relay my best wishes to any of our mutual acquaintances that pass by. Thank you.
Of course. And she takes the coin off the desk and puts a different one on. It's like, have a good day.
All right, that about wraps it up for me. So, wanted to go somewhere?
Wait, what? Were you talking to me?
Oh, Illich seemed like
Do you
he
know
was
what
really
to
in a
do
rush.
with that leather? Do you know what to do with that leather?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't think I was in the general store with you.
So I was just like, "Okay, see you guys." It's just like sitting on the top of the steps still. Is like,
In like a day or two, I'll probably be like, "Hey, do you have any of that leather?" Yeah. I don't think I was inside. Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
all right.
Off.
So you guys are now done conversating at the.
I think Ilix wants to know, as far as the shipment we're supposed to pick up, how big this crate is, and if it's something we can grab now and carry with us in case the negotiations are in the same direction. So he's going to head to those Gorbox, right? Was where we're supposed to get it from?
Yeah, so it's a little off. There is like almost an entire like ward in the city that you see just chimney stacks, just from all kinds of different forges. Now starting up. It's about noon. So you start heading into that area, which is north. So you're looking at a cross center, and you guys started a little over here where the hold was, and then you went a bit towards the center, and now you guys are going a bit north up to where the ward of blacksmiths are. You hear the clanging and all the knocking and the fires burning. The whole area gets a bit hotter. You see a lot of fire genasi. And then asking about for where this Gorback is, and people are like, they're like, you're looking for the man, and they point you over in one of the bigger areas with a big dome dome top that stops at a wide spout at the top, just billowing smoke from the center. And you guys start heading in. A big sign in front of the dome says the Hammerinville. You guys walk in, and it's a wide circular area where there are shelves and stacks of ingots and barrels of water and oils you see, and racks for leather, and there's a wider door off to the side, or opening off to the side, where you see people out in like a walled backyard that they're sitting on stumps, and one of them is a dragonborn. He's bent over, and he's got his foot on one side of some like white ivory, and he's bending it upwards, and he's wrapping it. And you see
Is it a white dragonborn?
Yes. And he's holding on some like ivory. And then you see this rather large orc. And he is in this white top. It's this white, very pristine top. And he is hovering over this big center, just bubble of fucking lava, pretty much, and coal. And he is hammering at something. And anytime he'll hammer, and the sparks will fly up, and he's almost like his whole back is just kind of hunched over the thing.
Okay.
Everyone seems.
May I presume Gorbak?
And you hear this ting. And he kind of puts his hammer down. And he looks up at it. He's like, ugh. He puts it he kind of sets it like on top of like the side, and it starts to really heat up from the heat. And he turns around and he pulls off big old gloves. He's like, "Oi, what are we looking at here? I've got a couple of guys. Yeah? You need something? What can I help you with? Oi, can I get somebody over here? We need some help." It's like, "My name's Gorbak. How can I help you?"
I'm Elix. These are my companions, Zendaira and Grins.
Hiya.
Lean into him. Still not sure why his mother hated him so much.
I kind of nod at the mention of my name, but I keep on like looking back over at the ivory dragonborn, like I'm very distracted by seeing another one.
We made the acquaintance of one Jorhan on the road, and he tasked us with bringing a shipment that you had for him.
Tauchu?
To the other side of the marshlands.
I think you mean Tauchu?
Wrong name.
Hello?
Tauchu?
Tauchu?
Hello?
Can you hear us, Sam? Hello, we can hear you. It's on your side.
All right. Shutting down. Be right back.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We are experiencing technical difficulties. We can hear you. We can hear you, Sam. Can you hear us? You're muted.
I can hear you. I know you couldn't hear me. I just had to restart. So
we could all hear you, Sam.
Yeah, we still hear you.
I know. I couldn't hear you.
We understood.
Yeah.
All right. So
So I step forward. I'm like, yeah, our friend Tauchu. He asked us to pick up a package for him, or it was like a large box or something. He wasn't very specific, unfortunately. But we'll be carrying it back to him, and we're supposed to meet him in 3 days.
Oh, you go carry it all the way out there? Beautiful. All right. Listen, I've got these shipments over here for you. I'm gonna go bring them. I'm gonna have a couple of my men. Do you have a cart?
Doesn't
No.
going to be part of question. How big was crate? We have mounts, but
He goes, oh, fuck me. All right. he goes over. He's like, I've got one crate here, and it's about a 2x2, 2 foot by 2 foot. And it just kind of sits. He's like, it's like, Tout, you wanted a bunch of raw materials, eh?
So
I got them all here.
Pick it up.
It is full of heavy metal.
Can I make a strength check on that?
Yeah.
Or something else here.
Yeah.
Just raw strength.
Yeah.
Hey,
I go over to grab the.
It gets, I mean, you get it about an inch, and you go to step back, and as you go to step back a bit, the end closer to you kind of drops and digs into the ground. You're like, ah! And then it kind of pulls you forward as it falls back down on the back end. You're like, whoa.
Can Alex try to pick it up?
We're gonna need a cart.
Ilix can most certainly try.
I want to test my physical dice because I do not trust this roller on D&D Beyond anymore. Straight strength check, right?
Yeah, plus your modifier.
21.
Prince looks for empty stump
20.
to sit on to watch.
And a 21.
Natural 19.
No. And now this is a heavy crate. And it's like you went and you decided to carry all of the 2 weeks worth of groceries in one go. And it's wide enough that it's just past your arm. It's just on your arm, right? And you take the most strength you could to get it up off the ground, and your arms are burning because they're so wide out. He goes, "Oi, fuckhead! It's a 2-man lift. It's a 2-man. That's why I've got the plugs on both ends. Fuck me. All right, can I get some help?" And you're getting up, and you're walking, and it's just oh, because it hits your knees as well.
As I'm walking, I'm
big.
Grizz, are you sure you are not related to this person?
Prince goes ahead and leans over towards the white dragonborn and it just kind of asks quietly, "Dragonborns get hernias if they lift too much?"
He goes, "Honestly, everyone gets hernias if they go and lift things. They're too heavy." Yeah, because it's like you're trying to walk, and I mean you lift it up and you're moving, but it's so big that your arms are wide and they're burning, and it's hitting your knees because it's too tall. There's you can't really get too much steps out. You're just waddling a bit.
He's just bulky. He's awkward.
Anyway, he goes,
You put it down.
"Look."
I feel like Ilix, as soon as he picked it up, he was keenly aware that he was not wearing anything to protect his feet from when he puts it down. So he almost leans forward and
hits the ground. He goes, "Hey, strongman, over here, come back, strongman. I need you. Listen, all right, I'm gonna help you out here. You said 3 days. Come back in 2 days. I'll have a cart. We'll all get you out of here. I need to get these shipments out. Eh? Perfect. Is there anything else I can help you with? I've got plenty of things in here. If you want, Jason can help. If not, I have a couple of other good craftsmen. I'm a bit booked, but if you need something special, maybe I can help you out. Yeah.
I walk over. I start like looking around at the crate. I'm like, what's in this thing?
Materials of all different kinds. He kind of takes a crowbar, and it's hot, and he clings open the top, and kind of cracks a bit. And he goes, another reason I'll have to replace that. All right, inside, he goes and reaches in. He pulls out ingots of like 3 different types of hues. He goes, I got steel, I've got some iron. He's looking for copper, but I've got bronze right now. Copper is getting a little harder to go pick up. In
As
this
he starts
area.
pulling out all the ingots of metal, I kind of like take a step back as a druid.
He's like, but that's just the best part of it. I don't just handle in metals. That's why our blacksmithy is one of the best. Look it. He pulls out horns and like leathers of all different types of colors, looking from like scaled to he has some chitin shells that he's got stacked in the corner. He's like, I've got chitin, all wonderful materials. I believe he brings these down to have done into all kinds of different things. Don't like having these disappear from my inventory. I can make wonderful things with those. Wonderful things. But I do enjoy doing business with him. Of course. Now then. If you don't need anything else, I'm actually quite busy. So, how can I help you today?
I guess we'll be back in 2 days.
Sounds like a plan.
Perfect. I've got 3 other crates like this that I'm going to have on a cart for you all. Do you all at least have transportation?
Yes.
We are supplied with mounts.
Beautiful. All right. So he goes and he walks into the back. He walks into the back. He goes to the white dragonborn. He goes, listen, Jason. If they need anything else, I'm looking at you. All right. You're taking the front. I've got to get out of here. He goes and he throws on a coat and he starts walking out. He's like, it's not closed, but if you need me, I'll be here in the morning. Have a good day. He starts heading out.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that was amusing.
Where's he headed to, Jason?
He's a very animated individual. He goes and we're short on a few materials. He's trying to see if he can get more iron and more copper.
Say copper's being more and more difficult to get your hands on. Any clue why that would be, Jason?
Copper is being used a lot in Magi. They who came through bought a whole bunch and went further north. So, not quite sure what they want with it. What? What?
Uh-oh.
It's no problem. I just I hadn't got Sam's video back since since he
Oh,
disconnected, reconnected, so I just did that to refresh that. We're good.
Okay.
Gotcha.
What?
Okay.
What?
Where are we at? We're going north with the copper. Eileen was like, that's where the corruption is coming from.
I say it always pays to ask questions about the rarity of certain commodities that were not rare recently.
Ask more questions. Kind of like whispering conspiratorial over towards Grins right in front of Jason.
All right. So it is about hitting almost about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. What is What are you guys looking up to do?
So, how about that negotiating gig?
Yeah, I was gonna. When's the negotiating thing at?
Uh, mm, mm. Ilix is going to turn to Jason, and in Draconic, Здравствуйте. I'm not accustomed to seeing our kind many places in this new continent.
Uh, it was actually drafted. Uh, did a lot of good work back in the village, so he liked what he saw, and I came with him when he came over to the Great Expanse. I've been working here ever since. Uh, it's good business. I do most of everything that doesn't deal with metals. So if you're looking for replacements, I see you're actually fairly equipped. Must have hit Tauchu on their way back in.
Yes. See.
I made those. You enjoy, eh?
I was going to ask. These are very finely crafted. They're most excellent work. You are kind proud.
They pack a punch, but be careful. The javelins, you throw them too hard, and if they explode or you'll use fire, they may not be usable again.
Hmm. Duly noted. Thank you for the warning. I do not wish to cut their service short.
Uh, but do pack a punch.
Hmm.
I'm very proud.
What village do you hail from?
Or the one against the lake. Um, let's see, do I have my maps? I filled in a couple of them. Maps. Not that one, not that one. This one from the cove. He goes, I come from the capital of Farn, up against the lake. It's where most of my family come from. What about you? You come from the city, or maybe another one of the lake towns?
Vibrosk.
Yes, I've been there once or twice. It's a nice area. Lots of fresh air.
Da. Is there more of our kind here, or did you come on your own?
Me, I came on my own, but there are quite a few other individuals that would come out this way. Uh, I do know one of my brothers. He went and he's conscripted in with the coalition army. So he may be either north or possibly went back to hold the Havashins.
Da. I know I ran into some inhabitants, but I didn't know if I didn't get to talk to them very much, and I didn't know if they were fresh arrivals or if there is a community here.
Mm. As for community, I'm not sure. We generally are spread out a bit. I do know a lot of us went to help in the digging for a lot of these excavations, uh, along with some other dwarves. But other than that, you'll have to ask around. I've just been here.
Well, it is very good to see one of our kind, anyways, so far from home.
It makes you feel like there's some familiarity out here in the wilderness.
Da.
Uh, anyway, you stay safe
Well,
now. Let me know if you need anything. I'll run shop here for a bit.
all right. At the risk of, I don't want to run too long here. Ilix would be interested in seeing if they have a good whip.
Grins is going to walk out on the front porch and take a seat and start playing his pan flute.
Yeah, you're starting to roll performance for me. And while he's doing that,
That's a 19.
that's sexual. All right. So, yeah, you stuck together like quite a crowd. Like even people who are like they're carrying stuff on their shoulders. With the bigger men, they're kind of just like they kind of stop and like, If you're walking by every now and then, you'll see a kid or a lady like toss a coin every now and then. Starts sitting there as they walk through, um, catching a little crowd. Ilix. Um, uh, Jason goes, for one moment, let me see what I have in back. I'm pretty sure I put one together. Um, he takes a moment. He comes back. He's like, no, I was working on one. He pulls out this handle, and it's got the phrase out for where he's looking to attach it to something. He's like, I was looking for good material for whipping. Um, and there's a few options I had out there. Uh, I know there's a plant that likes to strangle individuals, um, hangs up in the trees and reaches down at them. I call it the noose. Very strong. Um, it also ends up being, I don't know, maybe sticky or barbed at the end, but great properties from that one. Um, Otherwise, I do know there's a muscle type that's very stringy from a monster. Uh, Mixed with some of the hair I have here, I can make a nice fibrous whip uh, that that would smack an individual, possibly put them on the ground if they're not prepared for the weight.
What type of monster in particular was this?
It's a long, lanky one. Uh, I believe they call it. I believe they call it a roper. Um, it likes to do leaps at its prey. Um, the leg muscles are fairly long and lanky. Um, Great use. Too tough to eat though.
Is that something I'd be familiar with?
Uh no, you guys have not run into it yet.
Okay.
He
Well,
goes, you'll see it out and about. Uh, there's a smaller animal that has a quick run. When you see the bushes, that's usually where they'll be hiding. Um, they they're able to put themselves in the small bushes, but when they come out, it's almost like they just keep coming. Very compact. Um,
mhm.
Other than that, I come back in a day. I can make you a normal one. I just finished this one up here with the fibers and the leather I have.
So is there particular attributes that any of these materials would lend to a whip, other than the normal stinging?
Oh, they all should be a bit stronger than the regular leather. Um, the one from the noose, uh, it's either barbed or sticky at the end. It causes it to reach out and hold on to the things you whip out at it. Um, Makes it hard for them to pull away. The other one is way heavier than most leathers you'd expect to when it comes down on an individual. Might knock them down if they're not prepared.
Mm,
So one of them has a grappling property, and the other one has a knockdown property.
gotcha.
Low DCs, but they can be useful.
Gotcha.
So while this is happening, I've walked outside and I've started I've started dancing off to the side of Grins. Can I make a performance check on that?
Yeah.
This should be fun.
There's also there's like kids that are like they're like chasing each other, and one of them's just sitting there like in front
Should be fun with
of Grinch. He's going
-1. I got a 2.
And you have joined the little kid in front of Grinch just doing the.
I was kind of hoping to roll bad, honestly.
Well, I will be keeping eye out for these materials most certainly, and I will, if I find any, I will definitely be back. I think, particularly be interested in the one from the roper.
Oh yes, those are actually pretty local, up around the hills, behind Vermonten.
I will have to take a look. Thank you very much, friend. Be well.
Of course.
Baka.
Baka. Enjoy your day.
And I join Grins and Zendira, and
He goes
being
back
up
to
on
like
the deck. Up on the deck, I kind of
He goes
don't
back to
notice
leathering a
Zendira
fucking-
dancing like that. I kind of don't notice Zendira, and I hear the music, and I look down at Grins, and I'm like, for this, you can be pleasant to have around.
Aww.
Grinch, you get that good performance check, and it's going good. And then almost the magic feels like it's gone. As kind of like the general background music that you were kind of grooving with kind of cuts out, and you get the boo doo. Hello, children. It's your favorite rock jockey, Vito. Oh, talking to you from Rossmar. Seems like we've got some news coming from the front. The other side, those weirdos over at Vermontown gotten together and tried to pull their generals to the front. Maybe they're looking for some communications. Maybe they're not. Who knows? I'll keep you into it, and I'll be out there on the front lines talking to our soldiers, getting the interviews, getting the scoops. And that's here. Y'all are listening to Vito. Good night, children. And then it starts to pick the music back up slowly. It just starts to rise back up.
Okay.
Oh, darn.
Well, I believe we should probably go speak to the officials about that negotiation.
I ruffle the kid who was like sitting in front of me. I kind of ruffle his hair and I say, "Cool moves, Chester." I'm like, "You should see some of the moves that Zendira is picking up here. They were on spot. Zendira, you will definitely have to do that again for us."
I look flattered. Yeah. Right. So, when were the negotiations happening? I guess they're happening today. Okay, cool.
Yeah, from the first announcement, it seemed like they were not panicked, but like they weren't prepared to like, oh, the other side wants to talk. Oh shit, okay, anybody?
Okay.
So
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Game plan here. Obviously, I should be the one with the most open mouth because I'm the best with my open mouth. Then, you are my expert consultant on all things that involve plants and other boring things. And you can be my bodyguard / archaeologist. I think that we should go with that. Everybody agree?
Do we have choice?
Absolutely not. Well observation.
Will this even work if they're all being manipulated by what's his face? I forgot the name now. The maid of whatever it was.
Maid of War.
What was his name?
Oh, please. let me see if I've got this straight. They're all being manipulated by the Maid of War.
Yes,
And we have a chance to counter-manipulate them, and we shouldn't take this?
Gadriel, Andy.
Gadriel.
I feel like this is a dream come true. Finally pitting my skills of manipulation against a worthy opponent.
Illick's stomach is starting to turn just a little bit.
You didn't see what I saw. Well, we can try.
Well,
Guess we better start going that way.
even if this doesn't work, I have 2 fantastic scapegoats with me, so it's not a blot on my record.
We do need to head north before too much time elapses, though. We want to be able to trace the golden hex rods.
All right. Illick starts heading towards the...
Was there copper in Tauchu's shipments?
No, he said brass, I thought.
Did you say
Copper
copper?
was
Yeah,
hard
he
to
said he was
come by.
sending them brass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
that's why
too bad.
he's
That
out
might
getting
be
copper.
useful.
Did I get any money from that performance? You said there were a few coins that are on my way.
Oh yeah, yes. You got ooh. 8 gold, 14 silver.
Nice.
It's just
As
in
you
random
pick it up,
coins.
I'm like,
it just ends up.
you're welcome,
So it's
Grims.
like, yeah, 9 gold and 4 silver. 9 gold.
9 gold and 4 silver.
Yeah, technically, because it's 18. It was 8 gold pieces and then 14 silver coins. So technically, it's 9 gold, 4 silver.
All right. Awesome.
Okay.
Illick starts heading towards the government building.
Yeah, it's just a quick like you. Start heading back up the stairs.
Yep.
All right. Were we
You
supposed to go
see.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
I was asking if we were supposed to head towards the front or the government building to do the negotiation.
So come meet
right.
the jewels. Come meet the jewels in the building.
Okay. So, going to meet the jewels. Kind of skipping along behind Illick's, playing my pan flute, just a few fun notes here and there.
Yep, all the way up into the building. It changes. You lose the background music from the rocks as you start heading into the building. The murmur, that just crowded area murmur starts to get louder and louder. Out in the front, though, Grins remembers how the layout ends up looking. There's the wide front desk in front of the wall that kind of separates the room from this front half to the back. But this time, as well as the 2 receptionists sitting at the front, there is also what Grin recognizes as Miss Rose, standing there talking with another familiar individual, with a very large walk on his back, and this now cast iron, what almost looks to be like an inverted, like little cauldron pot that he has sitting on the side like a pauldron, and the feet just kind of spike out on the side.
Wait, is this Jorhan again?
Yeah.
In town.
Yeah.
Not
It's
Tauchu.
been a whole day. He said he was going to come down. He said he was coming down. He just wasn't going to do it that day.
Why are we bringing him a shipment to the north of the marshlands if
We're
he's here?
Bringing that to
Tauchu.
Tauchu.
Oh, right.
He's just a simple chef, man. He's just a simple chef.
Oh,
So,
friend
Jorhan.
Jorhan.
And he turns around and goes, I was supposed to cook a meal today, but it seems like I'm postponed, so I'm kind of sitting on my hands now. Uh, I see you guys made it safely across the swamp. It's getting wild out
Why would you
there.
sit on hands? Cannot do anything with hands when you sit on them.
That would be why it's a figure of speech. It means I can't do anything right now.
Oh.
Almost like he has Asperger's. Like, yeah, that's what I said, right? That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Ilix pulls out a little notebook and writes down, figure of speech, sit on hands. Must work on.
He goes, so, what brings you guys in? Like, this is a very important building. And you guys got business? I should probably go. I'm not doing anything today. If you guys are hanging out in the
Please
tavern,
introduce
like,
us to your friend.
oh, that's not on me. And she goes, no worries, Jorhan. Thank you for coming today. I'll send an envoy over when we're ready for the dinner again, yes? And she goes, hello. My name is Gilia Rose. I am the red jewel of the town.
Madam Rose. I give my most flattering bow close to the ground. Most flattering bow that my little goblin body can do. I say, it is an honor to meet you.
How do you spell Gilio? What?
Gillaia, Gilia.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, thank you. She goes, it's like, I welcome you guys. Normally you wouldn't see me up front, but I wanted to tell one of my good friends, Joran here, that I won't be needing his services today. I'm actually fairly busy. I'm trying to run a um, a mission, if you will, in the front to try to avoid all the issues we've been having. So, if you have any questions or if you need anything, please feel free. Jaina here at the front desk, and you see one of the Winjanasi goes, she'll be able to answer any of your questions. So I will take my leave. And she kind of dips her head a bit.
As she walks away, I'm like, but how will you protect from mind control?
She stops.
That's why you're fighting.
Roll a
Doesn't anyone
persuasion
know this
check.
yet? Roll what?
I'm going to go ahead and give him my bardic inspiration. Like, it's true.
What do I need to roll?
That's a persuasion, and then you can add a what is
I'll
it
give him
6
a
right
help
now?
action. The
Yeah,
little
you can
man
add-
knows what he talks, knows what he speaks. Help action.
roll
Help action.
add-
A persuasion check with advantage plus a d6.
Okay, let's see if I can do this. So I just can just roll persuasion twice, then roll a d6.
If you right-click persuasion, you can say with advantage.
I can. Oh, that's cool. Roll.
Oh,
with-
you shit.
Most nifty. Roll with advantage. Oh, we got a 19 plus the bardic inspiration because I got a -1. What do I get for the bardic inspiration?
It's a
It's
d6.
a D6.
Okay. Roll a d6. 1. Well, I mean, that still makes it a 19.
It made up for your negative.
Yeah.
She kind of stops. She goes, you all might be the ones I need. I'm looking for a third party. She turns around real quick. She goes, look, I'm getting very desperate here. I'm trying not to lose what little grasp of this city I have, okay? And it's all going into turmoil. It did seem like that. Does it not seem like everyone else is getting a little too happy about fighting what would be of sports rivalry in essence, beforehand has now gone into full-blown conflict. Um, so, if you have any knowledge, and thank goodness being a third party, I could use your help.
Well, yes, we would of
I
course
just got
love to
from behind Zendira. Alex just kind of pushes him forward in the middle of his back a little bit.
we would love to help. There, yeah. Kind of turn to grins for persuasive support.
Yes, Madam Rose, we would be very happy to be part of your, to be one of your envoys to carry out these negotiations as a neutral, fair party.
And she kind of like turns a little bit so that she could rest her elbows on the desk. She goes, "Oh, good, because I had an hour and I had no one. So this is better than me pacing out in front here. Wonderful. So look, one of my generals is out front, General Firebrand. You should be able to let him know that he won't be having to do the negotiations. Thank goodness. And maybe we can convince the other side that this is nothing we need to be fighting over. They are we really being it seems unnatural.
Yes, it's very unnatural. There's a corrupt influence coming from the north. I've seen it. It's what's damaging the land and the water and driving your two towns to fight each other. It's putting it all out there. I tried to show one of the field workers what was going on, and he was with me for a second, but then I saw it wash over him as he was controlled and just relapse into blaming the other city for everything that was happening. Even when I showed him the evidence.
Well, maybe if all goes well, you'd look into that as well. And then, oh, you lucky bitch. It's almost like you see her like she's in thought, and then almost like there's nothing behind her eyes. And then she blinks real quick. Like that. Like that. Did you notice? I barely had to I almost had to fight for my mind. Yeah, like looking like she's got like this headache. It's like it was near invasive. Please, um, go let General Firebrand know. He should be out front, near the river. I'll let the other two jewels know.
If you do not mind my intrusion, if this influence can press you to mindless blame games and against all evidence, is it possible that could also twist perception of your militia, of their orders, to twist and bend your intentions to be against the other town, even though you realize what has come over your people?
Yes. Then we must be very careful. I will be very deliberate with my words. And I will go over them with my editor. Thank you for the advice. That does mean, though, you as well be very careful with your words.
Da.
Hopefully that's all we will need. Let General Firebrand know that if things go south, to send word immediately.
Of course, we will relay your message post haste.
Now, do you need an escort?
We have a dragonborn.
She kind of looks over. It looks like, yeah, very formidable. Please.
Though perhaps an escort would add some officiality to our small group.
Only if you have somebody that you trust explicitly in this time where people's minds are being warped by foreign influences, then yes, we will accept your escort as a way of producing some extra gravitas in our mission.
It's a good point.
If you don't have anybody who falls in that category, hard pass.
Alex is going to butt in here. Please pardon my intrusion again.
He intrudes a
So
lot.
far, it seems as if is only residents of the region that are subject to these manipulations.
Good then.
This may be an additional perhaps it is best if we go alone as third party, as disinterested third party, as safeguard against a sabotage of negotiations.
Would like an escort, but can't be from... Perfect. Johan! And he's like starting to what?
That's kind of...
You guys almost blow me up. Now you're roping me up in a war. All right. Yes, madam. Like, you're not going to be busy anytime soon, are you? It's like, no, I guess I'm not. Would you mind going and helping these young gentlemen out, talking with the warring party on the other side? It's like, oh yes, of course. This sounds right up my alley as a world-renowned chef. I will do that. Thanks. I owe you. It's like, no, you don't. Jorhan and me go way back to the islands. He, one of my favorite chefs. Jorhan kind of walks back. He's like, we used to bone. He kind of starts walking. And she kind of goes, please. She kind of points at the door. He goes, yeah, I got you, Gilead. No problem. Miss Rose, while I work. Thank you. He's like, all right, guys. So what's the game plan?
Game plan is to take the negotiations away from, what's his name, General Firestarter? That just sounds like a bad idea.
I'm sure that he'll be a very reasonable person when we go tell him that we'll be doing the negotiations instead of him.
Knowing Firebrand, he's probably shaking nerves in his boots about having to talk. That man has more stage fright than... We'll worry about that when we get there.
Okay.
All right.
Start walking out and heading that way.
So you guys start walking down the road. You head out the gate. They open the gate for you guys. Jorhan kind of hops over the fence up against the road, starts walking into the tented areas, kind of gets hailed by one of the soldiers, and he goes, look at Gilead. Gilead sent me. They're looking for Firebrand, and they go, "Oh, he's up front. He's finding every excuse not to get on his horse and go out to the front." He's like, "Yeah, I figured. This should be easy, guys." He looks back. He kind of goes up. He kind of walks through, and you guys go past like 3 rows of ranked soldiers. Some of them are just kind of like sitting down. They're just kind of like holding a spear for a while because they've been out in formation for the whole day.
I lean over to the rest of the crew and I just say, government workers.
Hurry up and wait. So,
Ilix walks up to one of them and is like, no. Just adjust his stance. You will not be ready for incoming attack if you are so lax. You must prepare and hold spear just so.
Moving him around like a wet noodle. The dude's just kind of like...
Like, but Dragonborn, there's not going to be an attack because we're going to negotiate with him. We're going to break the spell.
And so we're going to do.
This is true, but his general stance invites aggression against such a unprepared target.
See, I mean, he has a point. Did you see how Dragonborn just laid into him? Invited aggression.
Invited aggression. It does make both of you right now. Anyway, so you get up, and it's literally like, by the time you guys are able to see him, you guys are moving through the last rank in front. He has since undone his greaves and redone his greaves at least once. From the time you saw him to the time you reached him. He kind of looks up and he goes, "I had word that a third party was going to come up here and do some negotiation. Is that true?" And he kind of stands up, and he's this big fire genasi. He's just bulky. He's just...
I raise my hand and yell out to him, "Hail, General! Your excuse has arrived."
Does
he big boy, husky man, just and like crouches down and like covers your mouth. The hand literally goes from like under the eyes to like below the chin. His hand is just big, like. Thank you. Okay.
I say from behind his hand, "Your secret is safe with me."
Okay. He stands up real tall. He goes, and all of his kind of armor just kind of. He goes, all right, men. Look we've got a situation here, and it's not in my wheelhouse. I'll do the fighting if it has to be. Let me know if I need to let them tell them any different. Good. You guys knock them dead out there. All right. You all stand straight. Make sure he starts giving out orders to everybody like he wasn't just, shaking in his pants.
Correct their stance is pathetic.
He starts whipping people's butts like in the back of their knees, like, get up straight.
So are we like meeting? It sounds like there's 2 battle lines drawn up, right?
Yeah, it's the river.
Okay, on either side of the river.
It seems like because Roskmeyer is lower in the south of the bend, and Verminton is northern in the bend. So while the river comes straight down in its bends and crooks, the lines are kind of crossed. And then there's a few bridges that have lead through. One of them looks really old in the south. And then the one where it's kind of right there in the center is more on the other side. So you looking out, you see what looks to be about 2 individuals. One, a very large individual, and the other, a smaller, more petite individual has like one of those like Japanese banners hanging off of their back, that you can see clearly. Not the same banner as you see flying from Vermonton.
So are they on our side of the river or their side?
They're now crossing the bridge, and while they're on their side of the battle line, on Roskmeyer's side of the river.
Okay, so I take it.
So the river comes down, and the lines kind of cross like that.
Okay. I turn to the general and I'm like, we're going to need a few of your men to help us carry a negotiating table and some sun cover to the bridge.
Yeah. We have those. I will go ahead and get them. He's literally like going, does anybody know? He's like going back all the way back. He's like running to the tent. He's like, I need a table. Do we have any more cover?
I lean over to Zendyra and I say, nice power play.
Right. So,
are you guys planning to go and meet them out? The other group seems to have stopped walking.
Cool. So as soon as we get our small entourage, I'll start heading towards the bridge. Thinking we'll meet.
Yeah. So
I don't know how wide the bridge is, but I'm thinking like it's probably wide enough that we can negotiate on the bridge, like essentially the battle line, right?
Yeah, it's more on their side, but yeah.
Okay.
It's close. Yeah, so you guys start heading out. Yeah, it's like a group of like 5 soldiers, and there's like 2 of them are like have like this rolled up like tarp looking thing, and it's got like, maybe some poles in the center of it, and they're holding it underneath, just 2 of them, one and then one behind him, and then there's 2 of them that are like 2 manning a table. And the third guy is like pretending he's lifting the back end of the tarp, where he's just kind of like holding the back like this. The one guy who's like not helping, but he looks like he's helping, and they all like walk out with you.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Do you have the chairs? We need chairs. It's like there's.
One guy's like,
we can't use a
like,
table without
like,
chairs.
What? And all the other 4 are literally just like. Oh yeah, chairs. And he like lets go of the tarp, doesn't add any more weight to the other 2 because he wasn't really holding on to it. He goes off, grabs the chairs. Yeah, they finish setting up the top. Setting up the cover. Literally almost covers the whole river bridge. It's not they took the more thinner sections of the river when they made crossings for it. It's rather wide though, the bridge. So it gets set up, the covering, and then they put the table down. And then the tables, and then the chairs. They put out almost like 7 chairs out there. And then as the soldiers walk away, the other group starts to approach the table. You guys get a closer look at them, and it is not 2, but 3 individuals. There is a large minotaur who is holding a large tower shield, and a young, almost has to be no older than maybe 10, 12 human boy that kind of just sits on his shoulders. And then next to them is this very petite, black silken haired night elf, skin paler than the moon, hair up in a tight ponytail.
So not a drow.
That is the drow.
Oh, it is.
It's a more evolutionarily reasonable drow. if you were in the dark all the time, your hair would go dark to be more to blend in with the surroundings, and your skin would go pale because you're not getting any sun to create melanin. So it would pale out.
Gotcha.
At that end, the dark skin of Drow was originally a racist incantation of darker skinned people being evil. That and orcs. That orcs.
All right.
That's why Drow were always evil. That's why. So it's kind of like the Drow. Drow, we can have almost a derogatory term if you want. Kind of like scale skinned for anybody on the other side who are of the scaled variety. It's kind of a derogatory term. Derogatory.
All right.
Yeah, so I kind of modeled the Drow as like night elves in the sense of they're more Japanese. Kind of like Japanese are kind of like our elves of the real world. It's kind of what we all based, especially Tolkien kind of based his elves on Japanese. Um so yeah, and she's got a breastplate and a large, or just like a, she's almost dressed in like your traditional archer, Japanese archer garb. He's got that the archer chest plate with the large flat rectangular square or rectangular buckler off the side, and this large longbow. They look ready. They're like the young goes, is this the kind of people we're sitting there doing businesses with? Wonderful. Look at this ragtag group of individuals. And the elf goes, relax. Hail, my name is Aeka. Nah, I've been conscripted by the other side, as my family does tidings with this group, with the Duke here. And we'll be doing the negotiations for the side of Verminton.
Hail, my name is Grins, and this is Ilix and Zindira. We have been selected. And also, this is Jorhan. We have been selected as a neutral party to help kindle negotiations between your two warring towns. It is in everybody's best interest that bloodshed not happen.
That's what I thought. So I am Heiyashomi Aeka. Heiyashomi is my family name. I am one of the higher houses of the Night Elves. Up there is one of my closest friends, been helping me out for a while. His name is Edwin. It's like, how's it going, everybody? I've had a good time traveling with my friend here. We're gonna do pretty good things together. We all aren't going to do the fighting and the killing of each other. That'd be great, yeah. This is my main squeeze. My big man. He pats the top of his head. Our big teddy bear here. His name is Demisios. He's like, say hi, Demisios. And the Minotaur kind of like this, just black bull, long horns, just kind of. Yeah, he doesn't really speak much, but he doesn't really need the words, you know.
His imposing figure speaks for itself. I say that intending it to be complimentary.
All right.
So, real quick, I can't remember. Did you guys actually share your farmer field experience with Grins when you caught up?
I thought that I did.
Thought so.
I mean, I know you
Pretty sure I
told
did.
me as it happened because I had caught up with you by that point, but you had cast the spell, so I didn't actually see it.
Right. I thought that I had used like a. Well, I used I think a minor
Oh,
illusion to kind of replicate it.
Mhm.
yeah, you
Um,
overlaid minor illusion over it to show what was happening.
Yeah, I thought I told Grins, but I don't remember for sure.
As we
I
caught up,
would
I know
have
I told
told
you about the
Grins.
culinary experience.
Right. I mean, I certainly would have told Grins. Is this still the same day as? Because I went to the fields in the morning. Is this? I don't remember if we had a rest in between.
Yeah, and you guys met up
Okay.
with
Yeah, I
Grins,
think
and
it is.
then went out. It's just it's about 2. It's about 2 in the afternoon that day. Aika goes, "It took me everything I had to be here, to avoid one of them doing so. They are fervent in this war, and I cannot seem to figure out why."
I'm pretty sure I would have told Grins. Like at some point,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I would have told you. So,
Grins nods as he's listening thoughtfully, and he's like taking, he's got like a little piece of paper. He just scribbles down a note and hands it back to Zindira.
I read the note.
It says, "Watch for anything strange."
Yeah.
Yes. Watch for anything magical.
Fold it up, like shove it away. All right.
You know.
All right.
Do I notice them clocking that interaction?
Ooh. Grins rolls sleight of hand.
All right. Here we go. Oh, that's not good. That was a 7.
Yes. Yes, you do. Especially, see, it's not Grins. Grins, you do the full blown like drug pass.
And then I'm like,
It's more Zendira where he's like, "Oh, yeah, I will do that, Grins. Thank you for handing me this note."
I kind of
Grins has the
crumple it
most
up
like
loudly and
forced.
put it in my pocket.
Grins keeps the most forced plastic smile possible on the whole time. Well, so it's
Ilik's not the only one noticing. Edwin on the top of Demisios also notices. Kind of looks down, kind of gives you like the squint eye, like
I'm like,
kind of digs in his pocket. He goes, "I'm hoping I'm talking to a friend," and he flicks some up at you. Grins, do you catch it?
yeah, I catch it.
It's a silver coin.
Yep. I give him. I catch. I'm like, yeah, I remember. I used to have one of these when I used to keep watch. And I kind of nod, flip it back to
Good.
him.
I think we're all in good hands, everybody. I don't think we need to worry too dang much. And Aika kind of goes, "And which one of you are the more trustworthy out of the 3 of you, the 4 of you?"
I present myself. I say, trust is something not to be violated.
And good. Then if you understand the honor of my families, you have my word that I will do everything in my power to avoid bloodshed.
And in what way can we assist you in this noble endeavor?
I need to know why. It's got to be more than this. land dispute, ruined crops.
Before this negotiation begins, and please pardon if I am forward, might I know where you all hail from? Are you native to this valley, or are you brought in as third party?
These two travel with me. I exiled from the islands. I came here to try to bring more honor to my family. Just out helping who I can.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at Zendira, and I just look at him and I say, "Tell her everything."
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Have you ever seen salted fields and crops like the ones you've seen here?
These are not salted crops.
I've investigated them myself. They have not been salted either. They have been corrupted. This is not normal. Have you ever tasted
like,
food
that was-
so bland and devoid of all flavor without being just dead, unharvestable?
Now that I can attest to. No, this is odd. Almost like everything molds off the vine. Luckily, Demisios, he's the farmer. He's the one who caught the fields looking weird. So
Have you
it's thanks to
discovered?
him.
Have you discovered the silk-like substance that runs through everything? That runs through the crops, the grounds, the water.
Demisios kind of digs in his pocket. He kind of pulls out, and he like opens his arms, and it's like, yeah, like large kind of white, white roots, like almost like root plants that have been like really bleached, and then covering them is like this like hairy, silken spider webbish material that kind of shines in like a black and white, almost black back and forth as it shimmers, and it's just kind of covering. Like he turns it in his hands every now and then. You can literally see everything. He pulls it apart, and it's like sticking to each other, like as it breaks threads. He's like, he's like, yeah, it's a no-go. Everything looks real terrible, yeah?
Yes, there are ancient forces on this continent beyond what any of us have imagined before. Let's see here. One of those.
We tried to convince them over there that it wasn't salt, and we even got them to burn the fields out to remove some of it, and it's working. But then they just sit there and claim that it was the fault of the other side, that they're having to clear out some kind of terrible crop mold.
It's the same in
It's like running in circles.
It's the same in Roskmeyer. This was not done by mortals. This was done by a corrupting force from the north. We can see it's there, but we haven't reached it.
Whoa. Slow down there, little man. As this young boy says this to you, he's like, slow down here. So you're trying to tell me that the gods are doing this to this people? They must have done some terrible things, is all I have to say.
No, not the gods, the maids.
MADE.
Yeah.
You trying to tell me that those wonderful ladies in the black and white outfits that clean my counters, they're the ones sitting there doing all this
No. The ancient beings that used to live here, that made the ancient structures that the archivists are excavating, they were very advanced. They coalesced thoughts and feelings, emotion into beings that were made of the essence of those things, and some of those maids still exist and are waking up today. One of those one of those is causing the corruption here and driving these two cities to war. That's why
We all saw the dream where Gabrielle was.
We heard the laughter and got the
We
explanation.
heard the laughter. We didn't see the dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I've seen Zendira use minor illusion, correct?
Yeah.
Show them.
I stand up and walk to the edge of the bridge and like kind of like put my hands out and form the illusion in the river. Now, I mean, it is an illusion, but
Yeah. So it's like almost like it leaps from the roots in his hands, in Demisios's hands. It kind of continues off and kind of almost like it continues to grow, and then it shows you show it spread outward off to the side of the bridge. And you go and you follow the what you remember seeing, where it reaches out in these tendril like grasping networks all across the dirt, and then almost as if like it kind of coalesces towards the river, and this kind of, while still kind of in the area, you're like projecting out in like this like forced perspective 3D to show where it ends up coming from that you saw. And they're all like looking like, so it's out there, yes?
it seems to come from the north. The corruption, the hatred between these two towns is not from within. It's from the north.
You say it's coming from a large force.
Oh yes,
One of immense power?
very immense.
There are many more like it, and Ilix is going to take his spear and turn the point down in the dirt and draw the symbol of pride.
Okay. Others.
Some are
on our side.
I serve one such
Some
being,
are-
the Lady of the Forest, Sucklaugh, the benevolent goddess in the far north.
We have identified several. The one with which we now deal is Gadriel, and it is the incarnation of war.
That makes sense. I suppose. All right. By honor, and she like taps Demisios on his tummy, and he goes, ooh. It's like just go, ooh. She goes, we're off then. I'll let them know. I don't make sure they won't start crossing any battle lines drawn yet. Not until I return.
Before you leave, I have a very important question that I must ask.
You all are coming along? Perfect. And she goes to start
Excellent.
But so in Roskmeyer, they call everybody from Verminton. They say they're from Vermintown. Do you guys have an equally apt and good not a good comeback for that? I've got to know.
Grins, why would you want to know that?
Because this is what I live for.
She looks very nervous and kind of like withdrawn. She's like, "Oh, it's not polite." And Edwin on the top of this big minotaur goes, "Yeah, they call it the rock slums."
I was hoping for better, but it'll do. Okay. Vermintown and the rock slums. Okay. This is how we'll.
They're old.
Yeah,
These are just old little. They is whatever, but it's gotten a lot more serious in the last couple of days. So
Sorry, I have to keep
It
up
is
on all
important
these
to
stuff.
note. It is important to note that these made are not necessarily in and of themselves the problem. There is a force that corrupted them and others many long years ago on this continent.
Well, if there's a force that's corrupting and it's causing this, then it's a force we will fight. Well,
I stand up. I say, agreed. We will be the purifying fire where the corruption spreads, and I reach out my hand to shake hands.
she literally bows in half. Just full blown. She's like,
I take my hand.
I
back.
now conclude that these negotiations are over. Thank you for handling things on their side. We must go now. I must stop this. And she kind of turns around. And he's like, please excuse me. And she goes and turns around real quick, and she starts strapping her bow off of her.
I'm still here.
Yeah. Edwin goes, what? She's always so headstrong. This is why we need to make sure that you hold on to her, or maybe she can be on top and I'll do the walking. No, never mind. I don't like to do the walking. All right, let's go, Demisios.
We'll retrieve our mounts and we'll meet you outside Vermington. I almost called it Vermintown.
Meet us at the foots of the mountains where the river starts, and we'll see what we can find. It's causing the issues.
Agreed.
I'm not wanting to metagame too much, but is Ilix starting to understand the significance of the silver piece?
This is the first time you've seen the silver piece, isn't it?
But there was obviously some point of trust strictly based on that piece in this negotiation.
Roll an insight check on Edwin then, because he's the one who would have then given it away if you're paying attention.
So I'm just gonna start rolling natural
Insight?
20s all the time.
Yeah, roll his insight.
11 plus 5, so 16.
Oh, he rolled a 4. Yeah, he was being very obvious. He was being too obvious with it, but he is a child, so it seems significant, like there's like a common like thought, almost like unspoken code that kind of almost brings like safe ease. Almost like you notice there's like an anxiety that kind of lifts every time. Like not quite, almost like it builds up right beforehand. Like, ooh, is this person really like legit? Are they cool? And then like when it's reciprocated, this is the kind of things you notice is like when it's reciprocated, the anxiety is lessened, and then it's almost like a kindred. It's interesting. You notice that in the store.
Ilix files that away.
So just you notice the feelings, the feeling of those kind of feelings from the individuals as they switch. It's how I would definitely communicate that kind of insight check.
Okay.
Cool.
So Jorhan kind of sits there, like looking at them leaving, and kind of like looks at you guys, like kind of looks at the guys leaving, kind of looks at you guys like, is all that shit true?
By the lady
Most
whom I serve,
unfortunately, yes.
I told the truth.
I shrug.
You're like, does it matter?
Oh,
There are those that can be trusted and those that cannot. But it is all true.
Oh. Okay. Oh, that's a lot, guys. Oh man, what have I gotten myself into? Oh, okay. Okay. And he kind of like slaps his face a bit. He goes, okay. Okay, world-ending super beings. Ultimate corruption force. Ooh. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's do this. Yeah. You guys are gonna go get your horses? Cool. I'm gonna go grab some ingredients and meet them up north and maybe make something that makes me feel better about this whole situation. See you guys.
Usually
And
find
Johan?
something with a high proof does well for that.
Johan,
Yeah.
when you make something that makes you feel better, bring some for me too.
Oh, I'm gonna be making enough to fill this thing, and he kind of walks off. Big old shield walk that sits around.
I turn around to the other two and I say, wow, things are looking up. All right.
They truly are.
So,
We have to
As
have
everyone
allies.
says when they see the save point and all the health stuff that gets put in right before the other room that they're going to go and cross into. Everything's looking up. They gave me a save spot. They've refilled my ammo and my health. Why?
well, I think it's very clear what we have to do next. We have to go back to the camp, talk to General Fireface, and get him to send his men over here to pick up the stuff to finish Zendaira's amazing power play. Then we gotta go get our horses.
That sounds like a good plan.
Hey, you started this. I'm just here to enable.
Nice. All right.
You guys heading back to Firebrand?
Yep.
Just
Why
for a
do I
quick-
feel like enabler?
You guys walk across the field and like you can see him. He's like in front. He's the big husky man in big old plate armor. And you start walking up and he is literally like, how'd it go, guys?
Chop chop, we need somebody to quickly clean up all of
Oh,
the
shit.
items.
Right. Okay. Yes. You, and he starts like pushing like the whole front line. Like, you guys get out, get these things. And they're like, oh shit, okay, like damn. He's like, are you guys
And work on their formation drills. Their
Yeah.
form is still pathetic.
Yeah.
Bring glad tidings.
He kind of turns around, and is like, your form is staying pathetic. You all better stand up straight. And they're like, oh shit. It's like, don't make me come over. And so what's the plan now, guys? Are we just kind of waiting, or you guys heading back to the jewels, or what? You guys need something?
We have. Go ahead.
We're gonna make a quick stop back to the jewels. You guys keep sitting here doing what you're doing right now. Don't let me catch you out there in the field, or I will report you to the jewels.
Okay, no, we wouldn't. I mean, I have a messenger to send to them if you have anything important you want to tell him. He's been sitting on his butt the whole time. Might as well start getting him into running again.
Any information sent between you and the jewels must be in written form. It cannot be verbal.
Right.
And
Okay.
preferably not readable by the courier. You trust these people?
And he's like waving. It's like, and he kind of comes up. It's like, no, paper, pens. I need paper. Like, hurry up with that table. Because the guys are like,
And the
they're like,
chairs.
oh, and they're like halfway, a good like half football field down in the field. They're like taking their ass time, and they're like, oh, and then they're like waddling even more because it's a heavy ass hardwood table. There ain't no folding tables back in the day.
All right. So, talking to the party, do we trust these men to carry a written note successfully to the jewels to tell them to hold off on any hostilities as we have a possible working solution in progress?
I think so long as they don't know
Giving
what the
them
message
nothing
is.
but written notes allows them to either, or does not allow them to twist the words that are spoken. The best they can do is simply not deliver it.
Or destroy
In
it
which
and instead
case,
give a verbal note?
All right. And yeah, about this time, like the table gets put in front of you guys, and then a couple of chairs, and um, the general kind of sits down, and one of the other guys comes up from behind you guys, puts down like some parchment and like the quill, and then the candle with some wax.
I mean, we have to go back into town anyways, though, to get our horses, right?
And he's like, okay, what are we writing? And he kind of dips the quill.
I will write. Because from what I've seen, and this is just me piecing a little bit together, it seems like people are only affected when they receive some kind of information that goes against their more aggressive tendencies in this situation.
Like forced cognitive dissonance,
Right. So Illich's reasoning is if we write it down and don't allow anyone to read it, then there is no perception on the part of the people who live here that then has to be interrupted by Gadriel.
Makes sense.
Brins clambers up onto a chair beside the table, stands on it, and leans over, like with both hands staring at the piece of paper as Ilix is writing.
He kind of like
Yeah.
hands it over.
Yeah. And so I'm going to go ahead and write it out to Rose. Negotiations promising thus far.
Stop.
Do not accept any communication.
Stop.
In unwritten form.
Stop.
Bryn says, "Is that your normal handwriting?"
We have rock telegrams or something. I don't know.
Right. So yeah, like the general's just kind of like hovering over, is like, oh, I saw the other group. They went up the river. Are they doing something weird?
They're doing something that was agreed upon, and that is all you need to concern yourself about.
Yeah. Like a duel, and the winner gets to have to be the winner of the war, and we don't all have to fight. That'd be great.
Does it look like he was just influenced?
I mean, roll inside check.
Can I roll an Arcana check? Or whatever.
I like these dice so much more. Okay. 22.
It was an 18 and then bounced to a 5.
Oh.
It was like, dunk.
Oh. It's hard, Zendira, to see. Like not using an
actual spell.
Using the actual spell to like see what's going on. And I don't know, you weren't looking like directly at him. You just kind of heard him start to say that stuff. You're like, it's like, what? Ilix. He looks like he's just kind of like, he's not looking at you or the table. Like his vision is towards the table, but it's almost like he's just kind of looking through it. He's just kind of like, when he sits there, just kind of as he says these like inflammatory kind of comments.
Ilix readjusts his body to make sure he's blocking the contents of the letter from Firebrand.
Yeah, and He kind of waves some more. He's like, well, if you guys are gonna go whoop their butts, better get there quick. Take my horse.
Don't worry, they won't get away. I'm like playing
Good.
into it.
Yeah. You know what? Take my horse. Just take my horse. Right out in the sunset. Something. He's getting excited about it. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Kick their ass.
All right.
That one looked real big, so also be careful. But kick their ass.
All right. He'll roll up the letter. Again, it's just to let Rose know that it needs to be strictly written and sealed before she accepts any communication as legitimate.
Yeah, you rolled it up. They got the little candle. Firebrand goes. He kind of goes into like one of his like coat pockets. And he pulls out, a little stamp. He goes, "All right. There we go. Now it looks official. We'll have somebody take this down." He goes,
Duh.
and then somebody goes, "Perfect." Kind of reminds you of a more direct Crunk.
More direct Crunk.
A more direct Crunk.
Okay.
Yeah. Man,
All
it's
right.
like there's like two regular horses and then like his decked out like white stallion, just kind of like, yeah. So let me know, and at least mine. Bring mine back, please. Spent a lot of money on that armor. I just, it's kind of, I've spent a lot of money on the armor. It's kind of, at least mine. Oh, I don't care about the other one. Just want mine back.
All right.
Wouldn't
Great.
want you guys to, ride your own things in the battle.
Wow, I just now
Never
got
good
your
for the
sleight of
animals.
hand check, Matt.
Ooh, interesting.
Very interesting.
No idea. All right, cool. So I guess we're headed north then to meet our new friends.
Like, wow.
Yeah, you guys,
Does anybody ever notice how the stirrups are never at a comfortable length when you get on a horse that you borrow from somebody else?
Zendira
I never
does.
have problems.
Zendira knows.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I usually just ride bareback. But I was afraid I would hurt his feelings if I took the saddle off.
No, and I'm like, right.
It's like, could you maybe take all that off then? He's like, you want me all
I'm sure. I suspect the horse that Ilix had to jump on was probably bareback. No, I'm joking. Probably not.
be funny. So yeah, you guys start heading up the river, and like, you guys start getting to the more northern half of the river where the Verminton's forces are getting closer to the river because it's at an angle.
Do I get a sense
and
that this was in the general direction that the golden hex rod was in, as far as the information we had goes?
That would be the wall that came over then, would be in a northern area.
Okay.
You saw them. You saw the climb marks. It would be on the. They were up in the, like that northeastern corner. So, yeah, it's about where they started coming from. Yeah, you start following the river on your guys' side, and you get a good look at like, you see some of the. You pass couple of the first ranks. It's a bunch of elves and humans, and you start getting towards where the camps are, and everyone looks very tired. You hear a lot of just just in general, just people like groaning, and every now and then you get the as you guys pass by, um, everyone looking very sullen. Um, Nobody's happy. Um, and then you guys pass by, and you guys start getting towards where the hills are at. And the river kind of starts to get a lot thinner, but deeper. And it starts to really get into like the carved out sections of the mountain that's starting in. And then you get a nice whiff, something real nice, something real nice, and this is it's very savory, almost like a lemongrass and meat, almost like a lemongrass.
We must be getting close.
You guys start coming up, and it's almost like the grass clears out, and there's this odd flattened area that you guys get onto, and it's hard, um, like a stoned floor. And you guys take a look, and it's like it's been cleared out, and you still see like the dirt of where it looked like somebody was sweeping this clean. There's the streaks of it being scraped and cleared off, almost fresh, maybe in the last day or two. And you see Jorhan sitting down at the foot of what seems to be like these larger steps, along with Demisio sitting on the steps, and you see a little boy kind of hunched down on a knee, and then kind of sipping on a bowl. You just got, and then you see a small female figure of Vaeka sitting there, restrapping arrows onto
Looking
her.
around, does it seem like a reasonably safe campsite?
Yeah, it's quiet, and it's further away from Vermington and the forces. It's odd. The stairs are very wide, and they almost look like they cut out the mountain range, where you see a lot of the mountain in the distance, and when you look up the stairs, it's almost like the mountains had cleared space. You don't see mountains behind them. The one off to the side comes down to the stairs and then starts back up on the other side. And it seems fairly steep because you can't really see where the shelf that it stops at, but you can see like where it stops. It's well up the ways. And they go, Aika looks up kind of briefly. She's, I was hoping you all would come. Does anything look weird to you? She kind of continues to wrap her.
Nothing other than has already been observed.
Can we look around and see if there's anything that looks weird to us?
But besides the... Yeah, give me a perception check. If you want.
That's a 13.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, looking around, I mean everything's very natural, and it looks like this whole section was just dug up and cleaned off within like the month.
Do I get anything extra with my passive 17?
Yeah, like especially not just with your, but give me a history check.
History.
Elix.
History +0. 17. Straight 17.
Hey, See, yeah, that's just as good. Yeah, being having the archaeologist background, in the sense, it's it's not recognizably cleared off as you would expect. These are obviously ruins, but these aren't cleared off the same way you've seen archaeologists before clear off a space. It's almost like they were aggressive, and quick, but they are definitely ruins. Um, it's almost like a stairwell, and then almost like this like half circle space at the bottom.
Does it seem at all similar to the clock where Zendira and I made camp right before we met Grins?
Of architecture, but not similar.
Okay.
Yeah, of the same make.
Eckern, do any of these Eckern, do any of these runes look similar to you?
First one was Eckern. Came out just like, oh, yeah. Uh, you know, these are definitely our stairs. Yeah. It's got to go to something.
This is very astute, Echo.
That's what I thought.
Maybe like a. But that would mean we might find another maid, if they're still here. But other than that, then it might just be a spot for. So it could be good,
But it could be bad. Like
it could be bad, or it could be good.
if it's bad, why would it be bad?
No, Grins, but it could be
because
good.
it's a.
But why would it be bad?
So it could be bad.
So,
because those generally consist of. So it would be kind of bad.
Do I see that our new companions are weirded out by this conversation? Do they see Eckern, or is Eckern just...
That's why I was whispering.
Yeah. So the 15 was Aika, as she's like doing her like rapping, and she goes, yes, this is not a natural occurrence. I would suspect it reminds me of the architecture from the ruins around here, but it's
More
not from one of
hastily
our.
uncovered.
Yes, something I don't expect our friendly neighborhood archivists to be to be done from. So somebody else had interest in this.
This is not our work.
It's also very close to the river, as you see it kind of stairs kind of stop, and then it's kind of like regular ground, and then it kind of dips, and then you kind of see where the river comes through the mountain. You hear, well, maybe a waterfall in the distance, or rapids, because that's the other way. It goes down hills quickly.
Perhaps it would be in our best interest to scout this area out a little further up.
Misios, you ready? He finishes sipping on some soup. He's like, Joran comes over, is like, yeah, maybe after a meal?
That sounds
this-
delightful.
Good
I know
plan.
I am not heading up those stairs to whatever is causing issues. You know, world-ending things on an empty stomach.
No, that makes perfect sense to me. And that smells really good. I'm getting hints of
he kind of
lemongrass.
like the nervousness kind of wipes away as he's like, "Oh, we're talking about food. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, so he goes and stirs it up a bit and it kind of wafts out. He's like, "Yeah." So, there's some nice little creatures that I like to cook up real nice. They're fat, very savory. Eats the grass in the area. Gives a good lemon flavor, kind of permeates the whole thing. Love it. You guys will too. He kind of splays it out onto the bowls. You see, he kind of holds like 4 bowls. He got. He's like, try some. He is a world-renowned chef. Everybody, he just just like he kills his own food. That's why he's always out traveling.
Ilix eagerly takes a bowl.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Soft, tangy, sweet, but in a savory sense. Like the sweetness comes from the meat. And he just doesn't have to add anything to it. It's just like he boils rabbit stew, and it's like, why is this so good? Yeah, and you guys have the effects of a hero's feast.
Ooh, nice.
What would that get us?
And his temporary hit points are 12 temporary hit points, and you are all immune from fear and charms. For 24 hours.
Okay, I know it was in here before.
Excellent.
Okay.
Fear and charm.
Yeah, I believe it'll be fear and charm.
You said 12 temp hit points.
Yep, temp hip. Temp hip.
So I imagine that'd be condition frightened.
Yes.
Yeah, immune from the condition, frightened and charmed.
Yeah, I was just looking for it in D&D Beyond. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh,
He starts to clean
One of
his
these
he starts to clean his bowl up. Yeah.
one of these days, Jordan, you're gonna have to teach me how to make this. It would be very, very, very useful to be
All
able to
about
make a
finding the
hero's
right
feast on
ingredients.
demand.
It's all about the right ingredients. We all, come out of world-ending destruction alive. It kind of zones out into like the existential crisis. And he goes, then yeah, you can come by my office. I got a space in the hold. It's nice. And I'll teach you a thing or two. Yeah, sure. May take a while. It's all about the right ingredients. Distractions. I appreciate. He kind of cleans up his thing and starts strapping stuff to it. Like just straps and stuff to the bottom of it. And he kind of lets it cool off, and he straps that big old walk to the side of his arm. He's like, "Ping. Let's try not to die. Let's try not to die."
Jorhan, what means of defending yourself do you have?
Yeah. So he kind of goes over. He pulls out this ladle. It's long and it's rounded at the end. Just kind of like it kind of curves around. He's like, good for scooping up delectable sauces. And also, he goes and he smacks the side of the dirt and he goes, it's heavy. Hurts things. As he carries
Do I
around
get the
a
sense
large
that it acts
ladle
like a
great
club?
Great club.
Ah, okay.
It is a large great club. He
I was
kind of
trying
swings
to
around with
decide
one
if I
hand.
needed to give him anything.
Hey, he has to kill his own food, so not all of them are beasts. Some of them are also man-eating plants. Like
You will be
know,
fine.
food's dangerous out here. Gotta protect yourself.
Bah.
All right.
Even
Right.
Ayeka kind of looks over like, fascinating human, into a human, fascinating human.
Are we ready to
Are we all
begin our
ready?
thing?
I'm like already walking for like at the base
like
of the
points-
stairs, looking up.
Yeah, it's like points over like, I'll keep an eye on you.
Yeah.
We'll talk. And you see Edwin kind of like he starts clambering up the back of this fucking big old black bull minotaur. It's like gets on top. All right, everybody, this is gonna be a freaking day. Let's do this. Let's hope that we just have to do like an ecological kind of environmental friendly kind of thing. We're not having to fight.
Seems
Most
reasonable.
circumstance for sure.
Let's
like-
hope we get a
he
good
grabs
story.
hold of one
Does
of the
that count
horns.
as a short rest?
Yeah,
Cool.
everybody got a short rest. Edwin kind of grabs a hold of one of the horns. He's like, onward.
I think I don't get anything out of a short rest without.
I used a spell slot and I haven't had a long rest, but I guess I need a long rest to.
Ah,
get
that's
that
right.
back,
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my spells recharge on a long rest.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
that's a
your bardic
warlock thing to get
inspiration,
it back
I
on a
believe.
short.
Yeah,
Makes
I think it's
sense.
warlock, sorcerer. Pretty much everything
Warlocks,
besides bard and
paladins.
wizard. Everything besides
Yeah,
bard and
warlocks,
wizard.
paladins, bard. Yeah, bards don't get their spells back, but I do believe they get bardic inspiration back on short rest.
No,
Or
long
is
rest.
that later on?
Yeah, I got
That's
my
long
wild
rest.
shape
That's
back.
later on.
Yeah,
I got my wild shape.
Gotta
back
level
on
up
short
first.
rest, but I haven't used it.
I have a wild shape. Yeah, that would be wild shape.
yeah. I haven't used
Channel
anything.
divinities.
Yeah, I haven't used any short rest items.
Yeah, so not quite yet. But yeah, hey, Heroes Feast.
So, are the stairs too deep to take our mount? Or sorry, too steep to take our mounts up?
Yeah, there's steep stairs. Now, if it was your mounts before, no, probably not. They're used to that. It's a lot of rough terrain. They don't have to worry about horses. No, the horses will not like that at all.
Small humanoids will not like this at all.
I
They're
kind of
not
look at the
that
horse for a
steep.
second. I'm like, do you think if I slap it, it will run home?
Like you would know better than
Probably
us.
shouldn't try that.
You're the horse whisperer.
Actually, I am.
And you are the horse whisperer. Yeah,
Actually, I'm quite literally the horse whisperer.
you could probably even ask it. You could.
I could probably actually ask it to go home. No, I'm not gonna do that right though, because I'll take a spell slot. I imagine we're probably just gonna tie the horses up so they'll be able
Ooh.
to come back down. So
I forgot that's a spell slot.
yeah,
I mean, I could technically do it without a spell slot, but it is an ability to use once a day, and I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess I don't have. a whole
I'm
lot
sure
else
they
to
won't
do with
freak
it.
out if all the horses come back empty. That's probably a bad idea, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah,
those vermins
yeah,
of that
that might
vermin town
incite
killed
a
the
whole new-
negotiators.
let's leave them here.
Let's leave the horses here.
We might also need them
Duh.
later.
Avenge the negotiators.
Oh my gosh. Yep, sounds like a good plan. Okay, let's not do that.
That almost turned so south, and I was so ready for it, guys. I was so ready for
Sending
it.
the horses back empty. I would.
Good thinking.
Whatever's sitting at the top is literally like, we didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to do anything. It just happened.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Tie the
Everybody's
horses
prepared.
to a tree.
And now our new party of 7 goes and heads up.
Oh yeah.
Ayaka kind of looks back, kind of looks over at you, and goes, "By the way, what do you guys call yourselves? You guys just a ragtag group, or maybe something more? Or
Uh,
just hang
My
out
name is
together?"
Indira. This is Grins, and he's our Dragonborn.
Grins looks like he recedes deep in thought.
Yeah. And
Had not thought of
it's nice to meet you.
party name.
Yeah, she's like it's nice to meet you all. She bows really deep. And together you all are.
My name's
Or maybe
Indira.
just-
This is Grins, and he's our Dragonborn.
Very polite. She's like so polite. She's like, "Oh, wonderful. Yes, I'm so glad that thank you for sharing your names with me. I appreciate. I will hold it dear with in my heart."
I say we're a party seeking a story, a legend, and a name.
Kind of like, that's very deep. Okay.
As she
Not quite
turns to
sure how to
walk
politely
away,
stop that. Not quite sure. How to
as she turns to walk away, Ilik's just kind of.
All right.
Demicio's kind of almost two-stepping it on the top, just holding the horns. Kind of looks down like, yo, maybe next time, guys. Maybe next time. Kind of following her up.
Cool.
Ilik shakes out of it, and he's gonna summon Katya as another set of eyes.
I'm sure
yeah.
our friends will be totally cool with that. I mean, I could just transform into a bear while we're at it. I'm sure nobody will freak out.
We just told them that there are gods on this continent and a force capable of corrupting them. I think they're okay with a mini dragon.
Mini dragon. Oh. So yeah, almost like the sun moves behind one of the peaks, and like a shadow goes casts just a little further, and it hits your feet, and then just almost like it just walks out of the water, just in that soft sound of shadows kind of pooling into a panther-sized dragon whelp.
Alex is gonna kneel down next to her and keep your eyes open well, Katya. We are in uncertain territory.
Looks deep in your eyes as the opals on her cheek starts to flicker in different shades of color, looking expectantly.
Black acid.
Yeah, so you see it starts to get in this like sickish green black hue. It almost gives a cough, and it's almost sharp and spicy. Kind of shakes her head like she had like acid reflux almost, and
we have new friends here, Katya. We are in fresh company, but they are with us.
Gives a little head bump, and then goes to kind of like comb the side of the mountain ridge that kind of sides the whole walk up, just to kind of look above you guys. She, as you guys start to crest, not quite, she does end up looking over before you guys. Sees and then comes back down very quickly. Goes and looks into your eyes, and gives you this like, and then looks back at your eyes, kind of taps a few times. You count 3.
Katya has found something over the ridge. We must be cautious. And I suggest stealth.
Stay close. The top looks open. There's not really much places to hide. So, everybody, cautious now. Jorhan kind of picks his shield walk up a little higher. He's like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here we go. We're gonna fight.
All right. Can you go ahead and make a stealth check? If we're on this side of the ridge, I'd at least like to be quiet getting to the top and maybe be able to slowly approach and crest over the top and see what spooked Katya.
Yeah. You guys go looking, and there's just because Demisios has to stay a little lower. He's just not even going to try to look. He just kind of sits down on the thing.
Well, I rolled an 11.
Yeah. You guys everybody kind of gives a good look over. And it's this flattened, almost circular area, where it definitely looks like it was cleared, because the mountain comes straight down around the back end of it, almost like a wall. And in the center is cleared out, towards the very back. There's a seat. The seat looks to be of the size of what you would expect a maid to have. It is empty and destroyed.
Does it look like the one where we found Amaros?
Yeah, it's kind of like in the same like structure, but destroyed, like almost ripped in one direction, because you can see the pieces of it still, in large chunks in one direction off to the side, and kind of you see a big cape and broad shoulders, and just a bald head, and it's just kind of standing, kind of looking at the chair. On the other side, looking at, kind of sitting on his feet.
Is he in proportional scale to the chair? Like he's sized to fit the chair, or is this just somebody else?
Just a larger individual, just a medium-sized humanoid, just on the larger end, definitely tall, gray bald head. On the chair, kind of sitting on one of the, from the back of his head. You know he's a Goliath.
Does it look like Ansvar?
I don't know, from the back, no. I mean, it's from the back of his head. You got a good look at the side of his head, and a good look at his face.
Head looks like another.
Yeah, and like when it comes to Goliath, now facing you guys on one of the chair arms, because they're rather big and wide, crouched onto the balls of his feet, with his knees out, and his arms kind of dangling on his knees. There's a soft tail that kind of flicks back around and forth, horns that come from the front and kind of curl up, bulky, scarred, in the same shades and colors Grins would recognize. He kind of sits there. He flips a coin in his hand. He goes up, and he comes back down. And he's sitting there like with a soft grin. He's like, "Hey, finally figured it out, eh?" And then he goes, "Oh, hush. Well, I have to keep being partnered with you up until we get cleared. And then now you're starting to recognize the voice."
Quick
And
question.
it turns around.
There's
Go
not
ahead.
a lot of color shift in a Dragonborn, but if there was, he would have gone white when he heard the voice.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
The person sitting on the chair arm. Is he a tiefling? Would I recognize him as a tiefling?
Yeah, you would
Okay.
recognize him as tiefling. Otter features. Definitely a unique tiefling. As Grins would know that too. The Mixish brothers were they just were bigger, taller, more pronounced features than a lot of other tieflings. Almost like they weren't quite, but definitely tiefling featured wise. And you hear the armor kind of clanking as he kind of turns around. He goes, "So, did we miss a few in the town? I figured you'd miss some." And he kind of looks off in the distance towards the mountain ridge off to the side, to the left of you guys. And this small dragonborn child sits on a stone up on the ridge, bow in hand, large arrows. Comes out the back, and he goes, "I missed none. I hit all of them. They are new."
Blue Dragonborn?
Yeah. Small child.
I look at
He
him
goes,
like, why do you serve the interests of war?
Wait, so we've been seen, correct?
"Oh yeah."
I feel like
Yeah.
we're just kind of walking up to him.
It
You're
looks
sitting on
kind
a
of blue
mate's
that
chair.
one.
It's just a
At this point, I
wide
imagine they
open
know.
area, and then y'all just kind of like
So, let's see. I'm sorry, I'm digging through my notes to try to remember what the name or title of the brother was.
let's see, it's the Jackal and the Vulture.
The Vulture.
He's just the Jackal is the more logical, smaller, brains of the two. The Vulture you didn't really deal much in because he was always about action. He was big. He's a big old brawler. And he's wearing almost the same outfit you've seen him in once. The cut off at the shoulders, and big arms, and scarred up face, wild red hair in the back.
All right.
He's like, "Well, then good. We don't have to." The tiefling, we don't have to blame the kid. Great. So, if y'all are so new, what are y'all doing up here? I know you aren't gonna fight on these behalfs, are you? They're gonna tear each other limb from limb.
What purpose? Did you engineer this?
No,
Ilya
more
or
just
Ilix is just slowly walking over to Ilya.
No. We orchestrated. The one who created it, and she's not here right now. But you can thank Death here. He's been helping us out, going back and forth between the two. Ilya, looking right at you, goes, "Yeah. By the way, that means I have some to pick up. Don't have too much fun. I won't want to have to pick up more bodies." And then he
Oh,
kind of
wait.
it goes,
Ilya?
and as it kind of darkness kind of pools up and kind of tendrily kind of wraps around Ilya, just covering it in black, all the way covering the face, and then it just kind of goes,
No. He's gonna run up to it.
yeah, it just puddles down. You get to the foot of the ridge right at the edge of the circle, and you just feel the oily liquid water just kind of rush down past your feet, as it kind of pools out and then kind of dries out.
Wait,
Just
Ilya,
kneeling
as in
down,
Alex's companion.
trying to grab at what seeped into the ground.
Yeah, the soil's kind of wet, greasy.
Yeah.
Like the
Turn
display,
around and just.
the
What did
display
you
you
do
see,
to Ilya?
Ilya. Death was the oldest of us. So luckily, you'd have to ask him. The big one turns around after the display and hearing your voice, he goes, "I know you. You were the cause of all of my misfortune before."
I know you. I helped put you in the ground, traitor.
You did put me under. I sunk to the bottom, feast from fish and crab, and slithering thing at the bottom of the sea. But I was
It
picked up.
befitting for all mutineers and traitors such as you.
Grins leans over to Zendira and
Unfortunately, I
says,
am not a traitor.
Grins leans over to Zendira and says, "This guy's got even more issues than I realized."
I won't get into which one was the traitor, but it seems like my thirst for war was not over, and I crave it now, and I'm angry about it. And I feel like since I've seen you again, and it was your fault, I will enjoy feeding off my anger.
Oh my.
He goes, "Come, Dragonborn. You want to try that again? Come at me, fine." And he starts. It's almost like around him starts to heat up. You can feel almost like you're standing in front of a bonfire. He goes, "Let the forge of war burn." He goes, The one sitting on the chair goes, "I guess we're getting into it, eh? Fine. I'll do it." He pulls out 2 daggers. "Let's see what we got, eh?" And Edwin on top of Demisios kind of looks down and like, "Oh boy."
Right?
Like immediately right after. Is this what we're going to have to do? Hey,
Right.
Demisios, you keep that shield up. We're going to have to do some things.
Well, this is not ideal.
All right.
Yeah, it's getting to the 4
almost
o'clock.
reaction. Oh, okay.
I turn to the tiefling and I'm like, "And you? Why are you orchestrating this war?"
Me? Well, I like this area, and I'd really like it. I like the whole thing. It should be mine, and I'm gonna take it. All these things need to go. They're in my way.
What?
War here is gonna help me do it. I hunger for it. I hunger for it all.
Do you truly believe that? I'm assuming I can tell he's talking about Gadriel. Or is he?
Well, he pointed over. He pointed over at the Goliath.
Oh, okay.
And when the Goliath was talking about Ilya, he called him Death.
Okay. Interesting. And Ilya was the archer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Making sure I'm following it all. Huh. And once you rule this land, what do you think war will do then? Surely a being named War will not let you live on your land in peace. An alliance with War can only ever be temporary.
Literally, like almost over you. It's just a soft giggle. Just kind of pats the Goliath on the shoulder. It's like, oh no, you see, we're almost inseparable. I come in, I make everyone hungry for it, and then War comes in and clears them out. And when it's all done, and all of it's mine, then I can only be more famished for more. And that means War gets to fight some more. And then I get more. And it seems like a perfect harmony to me.
I look up at Edwin. I say, somebody's going to have to tell him. I don't want to tell him.
I'm not going to tell him, but to me it sounds like they love each other. And do you guys love each other? Are you guys in the together thing?
Oh, there we go.
Is Matt? Am I the only one who Matt's frozen for?
Your video froze, Matt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Oop. Oop.
Yeah. Oh,
Any better?
it's
Spinny circles.
No.
it's back. It's very grainy, but it's running now.
He's coming back.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
Matt,
there
where
you
did
go.
you have
Yes,
to go?
Yeah.
Just so I know, and then we can. Away.
I can probably stretch this a little bit.
Well, because and then we'll do some talking, and then when it seems like initiative time, we'll stop.
Oh, that's a
there.
hint of where the negotiations will go.
I mean, I guess when the negotiations are finished.
I think with the history between Ilix and War, I don't think it could go anywhere else.
Yeah. So yeah, Ilix. Yeah. no. Ansvar is very upset with you. just very upset with you for what you did. You really got in his way very quickly and abruptly, and he did not like getting being fish food for about a week before they pulled him back up out of the sea.
I doubt he remembered it.
Right. But he is fuming about it. Yep. Now the other one goes, look, and he kind of reaches in. He kind of pulls out a big old mushroom out of his bag, and it's like has this weird sickly green color. It has like these black streaks across it that tend to like almost drip. He's like, look, it's almost done. It just takes this in the water supply, and it carries it down the river, and all of them will finish going hungry. And the only thing they can do is try to take the resources from each other that's left. I have to wait. It's not quite fully grown yet. It won't quite take out everyone. Soon it will.
Hmm.
Oh, Ayaka's fists are shaking. And her face has gone from that soft pale moon color to the color of your shirt right now. Like literally this like reddy pink. Reddy pink. So upset.
Can I sense that it's directed at one or the other of these two?
Yeah. She is like staring them down hard, and you can almost hear the bamboo in her freaking bow kind of like as she like grips it hard.
Can I make
Is it at one of them in particular?
She's looking at the tiefling as he's talking about poisoning more people to death.
Can I make a nature check to see if I can determine anything or recognize anything about this mushroom?
Yeah, go ahead.
And we got 21.
It is a large version of a poisonous mushroom. You recognize the green and the black streaks. They generally don't drip like that, and they are generally like a tenth of the size. It reacts once fully grown, likes to do a lot of soaking in water, and then releases like a decomposing kind of fluid. So it's good for creating rich soils when you have like livestock. So you can kill off the livestock or the cow manure or whatever and breaks them down and stuff, and it's just not good to eat. It is obviously a lot worse.
I see it. I see it dripping, and I just look at it and I'm like, how long have you served corruption?
Oh, millennias. Now, am I tired? Yes. But I'm happy. Look at me. I move again. I am him, and he is me. And soon, it will just be me. Once I shed this, I cause enough hunger. I'm famished. Is it time to eat now? And he kind of looks over at Ansvar. He goes, "Oh, yes, once I tear them apart."
There's no like drop offs or anything, are there?
It slopes a bit to the right-ish downward.
Okay. But no, like,
and then the ridge comes down like hard up against the rest of that, and then there's the stairwell that is, downward.
I'm getting a little disgusted with the corruption at this point, so I'm like, you've been undone before, and I will see you undone once again.
He goes, "Why?" And he starts to spin his daggers a little bit more. He's like, "Why? There's a bitch here. Is she going to undo me again?"
She won't get
almost
the
excited
chance.
about it. Almost
She won't get
almost
the
excited
chance.
about it. Almost excited.
Like,
You guys are
boy.
getting in the middle of a fucking blood feud between all these fucking deities.
At level 4.
Five before the battle.
Do I see? Do they have any ranged weapons on them?
Okay. Ansvar looks unarmed.
The tiefling.
He literally just him sitting in armor. Ansvar is the big
Oh, the
Goliath.
big one. Okay, yeah.
The tiefling, Mr. Vulture Mixish, is what seems to be a bouncing, spry, kind of individual, built, athletic, bulging for a smaller man, but it has been twirling around these two like crooked, like curved blades that he has like pinned back here. They kind of curve in like this. He kind of goes flipping them around on his finger.
Style.
So he kind of just keeps flipping them around. He's like,
You talking about karambit?
yeah, they're little karambits. Yep.
Nice.
Well, they're larger karambits, but yeah. Yeah, and yeah, it's almost like it was the same childhood bow you recognize.
Yeah, I feel like Ilix definitely, like there was, like everything was different, but nothing was different.
Yeah, like it didn't feel like him at all. Like there was no joy or emotion or life in his face.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll do we'll do level 5. The other 3, Jorhan is 3. The other 3 will be 4. So you guys are gonna carry him.
It'd be interesting.
Well, I'm level 4 too, so that should be fun.
Well, you all will be 5.
No, he said we make level 5 by the time this battle starts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
And then, yeah, and then that way, and then you can do spells, and so we'll do 5 there. Yeah, because this might be wild. It was wild for the other group.
We got this.
It was definitely wild for the other group.
I'm like,
But hey,
powering up my shillelagh. I'm like, in the name of Sucklaf, you will not destroy this valley.
But hey, meet one of my older groups.
Oh, really?
This is a lot older. These guys are a lot older. From earlier, from a different campaign.
The party we've met up with.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
Nice.
side party like that. You know, maybe sometimes.
I was kind of wondering about that. Nice.
Yeah, it's just they're just a group just like one of my smaller 3 group parties I had earlier. They were fun characters. I will say. I'll try to do them justice. It was interesting because just like this Demisios, he never talked. He didn't outwardly say real things. He would my friend would always describe his actions. Just it's like, yeah, Demisios is gonna do this. It's like, okay.
Nice.
He just doesn't talk.
I have a question about the level up here. At
Mhm.
what point did we hit 5?
No. But you guys, if there's like a long rest needed, then that's what it will be.
Oh, I was wondering because at level 5,
Yeah.
the short rest does give me the bardic inspiration back.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys, we can do it as before the short rest, and that way it's one of those.
Okay, awesome.
But yeah, I just leveling up will be almost considered like a long rest.
Okay.
So, like
cool.
it'll just be in that kind of situation where, no, you guys didn't actually long rest, but that's what it'll be. It'll feel like.
Gets me my spell slot back.
Mm-hmm.
So I just did the level up. For some reason, it jumped my AC up to 19. I'm trying to figure out why.
Did you go up proficiencies?
Oh yes.
I think it's your dex plus your proficiency with your armor.
Where's the level up?
I think you can click on the builder and then go
I
level
got
5.
well. My armor class with a scale mail is a base 14. I get a +2 dexterity bonus.
Mm-hmm.
The buckler. Oh,
Okay.
do I get a proficiency bonus on a shield? Because I thought the buckler was just a +1 AC, but it allowed me to use both hands.
Oh shit! Why does it say +3?
I have
Let me see.
no idea.
Let me see.
Because literally, my armor went from a 17 to a 19 just from a level up, which seemed weird. And I didn't put anything custom in that.
Oh dang, new spells! Yay!
Hmm. Oh, this isn't my buckler.
Oh, it's not? What?
Mm-mm.
Small circular shield generally.
That's why. That's weird. Am I unable to share
One
mine?
to and then +2 for normal
Let me open up.
shields while giving the user the ability to still use their hands for
Collection.
casting or for archery. I mean, the description says, but it says the armor class is +3 for some reason.
It does.
So I forget what the when you
Yeah.
level up. What was
Because
the
I
bonus
didn't
that-
change my inventory.
No, yeah.
When you level up, I know that you can pick a feat, right? But then there was something else that you could do.
Only if you hit an ability score improvement on that level. So
Okay.
all of us, the ability score improvements, we hit one at 4.
Okay.
We hit again at 8, 12, and 18. 8, 12, and 18, or 8, 12, and 19? I don't remember.
Not a big deal. Okay. Cool.
I mean, not that I'm going to complain about an AC 19, but that's not. I don't think that's worth.
No, it's like it just changed too. That's weird. Because I
Yeah,
thought I
because
had
it
corrected.
said 17 a minute ago.
Mm-hmm. Because I thought I had corrected it.
I mean, I can just like. Here's what I'll do. I'll just I'll just take the buckler off of my equipped, and I can just go in and do a custom addition to the armor at a +1.
Yeah, let's see.
Because all it really gave me was it gave me the +1. I was still able to use both hands, and that particular one gave me resistance to piercing.
Cool.
Yeah, let me see. Hold on.
So I think the main thing I'm getting out of this is new spells. Third level spell slots. Oh, heckin' yes.
View detail page.
Oh, I was just looking for Call Lightning. Yes.
Create version. Back. Are you able to see my Sode buckler? It should be the exact same thing.
Okay. Let me see here. Manage inventory.
It should be a buckler. So let's see.
All right, so I'll just search buckler and see what it comes up with. Sude buckler. There we go.
Yeah, I got you. I'm already adding you. Now this there, armor class +1. Now why didn't I thought I did? I thought I went through both of them to fix that, but I'll apparently I can't edit my buckler for some reason. So I could edit that one, but it wouldn't let me edit the other one. So I will.
These spells are getting way better. I'm just saying.
Yeah, 5
I'll
hits
go
like
ahead
that.
and
Like
remove that miscellaneous bonus.
yeah. Yeah, and here I have you sitting at 17.
Yeah, that puts it at 17 now. Here we go. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, I gotta pick a second level spell.
Demisios goes and kind of saunders up and kind of stands almost in the middle of y'all, and like you literally feel him up against your side, Ilix. And he kind of shoulders kind of not really in front of you, but just kind of like in front.
That could be really good too.
Naika goes. She starts pulling arrows out. She like sets them into the dirt. Don't let your guard down. These forces are oppressive.
I just gained the ability to make those flaming arrows.
Hey.
I gotta look through these. This is awesome.
Yeah. I had to add these guys in. One, because I knew that you guys were probably going to end up running into these guys. And they're bad news. It's bad news. Generally,
Okay.
if you guys
do I have
hadn't
time to
had
cast a
issues,
quick spell?
yeah.
Okay, so real quick, my brand new spell. Ilix is going to cast Aid on himself and Grins and Zendira. So you guys both, not temporary hit points, your hit points max goes up by 5. And you have those 5 hit points on top.
Yeah, so
at
they would
this
get they would
point-
get healed back up on when you healed.
Yeah. So
12
You
temporary
don't
hit points.
heal temporary. Yeah, you don't heal temporary hit points, but you heal regular hit points. So he's adding 5
Gotcha.
regular hit points to you guys.
Max HP modifier +5.
Mm-hmm. Max HP. Yep.
and that's a buff that only lasts as long as the spell is going, but the spell lasts for 8 hours, and I don't have to concentrate on it. So
Damn.
that's an additional buff on top of the 10 HP.
Handy.
Yeah, that's gonna help. 55 hit points now. I'm so tough.
How do you have 50? How do you have 55 hit points?
We got the +12, and you gave me another +5, so that's like +17, and I just leveled up, which gives me.
Yeah, but I'm only up to 50
Wait.
with
I
the
have-
temp HP and the.
What the heck? That doesn't make sense. No. You're 57 with the temporary hit points.
Yeah.
Me? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I have
looking
you
at
at
your
40.
sheet.
57 total, right. It doesn't add it into the. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not directly.
Okay, yeah, no, with the temp, that puts me at 62 then. Okay, never mind.
I'm just saying.
Not so unhappy.
I can conjure animals. Wait, what?
Yeah, and so you guys have an idea of who you're playing with. Jorhan is a standard fighter. He has some small tricks under his sleeves. Um, uh, and then you have Edwin is a sorcerer
Huh?
of cool. He is a cold sorcerer. Demisios is a samurai, and he has no weapons on him, just a big old tower shield. And his horns are also pointed directly forward, and they look sharp. And Miss Hayashomi is a paladin.
An archer paladin?
That's why I thought it was pretty cool. That's what.
Interesting.
Nice.
Very nice. Also, I can conjure animals. Holy crap!
Attack turbos!
I think I can conjure.
Oh, they're biting my ankles.
Oh my word! No, dude, I can if I'm reading this right, I can conjure 8 wolves.
Yeah, I mean, get with Josh about how that works because it varies from table to table based on DM preference, but the wording of the spell says that the DM gets to choose. You choose the number and the challenge rating, and the DM chooses the type.
That's not what I was reading. Let me see.
Trust me, that's a spell I was looking to learn as a ranger spell further up the line. That's how Conjure Animals is worded.
That's not the way it's worded in D&D Beyond. It says, choose one of the following options for what appears. 1 beast of challenge rating 2 or lower, 2 beasts of challenge rating 1 or lower, 4 beasts of challenge rating 1/2 or lower, 8 beasts of challenge rating 1/4 or lower.
Yeah, you get to choose the challenge rating, which determines how many of them, but if you continue reading, it'll say the
Okay, I
DM
see
gets
what
to
you're saying.
choose what the animals are.
I'm not seeing that part. It says the GM has creature statistics. Sample creatures can be found below.
It's not to say it's not a powerful spell. The GM has creature statistics.
It doesn't say the GM chooses, but I could see how that could be implied.
Each beast succeeds their fate disappears. Some creatures are from you or initiative. If you don't issue any commands, GM has creature statistics. No, the original wording of the spell was that the GM chose.
Oh, I can take a look at my book, but that's not what it's saying in D&D Beyond. I'm assuming the wording is the same.
They might have revised it to give more agency to the player on that.
That's possible.
But original,
it doesn't explicitly
it might have
say
been
I
errata.
choose the beast, but when it says, yeah, I would kind of assume, unless it specifically said the GM chooses, that I would choose. Yeah, that's fine.
I think it's for when you're I think it's for one of those when it's they leave it open for those games where it's you're in the Underdark or something and you're not going to want to summon a bunch of deer.
Okay.
But I don't think it would generally matter. Just let me know what kind of spawn creatures you're doing.
I definitely will. I've got to look through these spells though and decide what I'm taking. But
because then we'll also add other things that are in the Great Expanse of those levels.
Sweet.
Your party. I'm giving you guys the ability to check them out.
Yeah, because that's definitely a spell that I've been eyeing for my higher levels.
Makes sense. Alrighty. It's a she.
Nice.
She, not she.
All right. I need to split.
All right, guys.
So,
All right. Thanks for
Do we
playing.
want to roll initiative real quick right now for when the hammer
forget
falls
by
next
then.
We'll
time?
forget that. Yeah. As many people forget.
Yeah. We'll save it because I don't want to. I might lose that paper. I
Well,
know
it'll
me.
stay in the game log if we roll it in D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
We'll just roll when we get back.
It should.
Should. Yeah.
I agree. It should. It should save. Yeah. So, all right, my friends.
All right.
All right. Well, Mr. DM, thank you as always. It's been a lot of fun. And
I'm going to
see you
say
guys.
whatever crappy rolls happen next time are due to Ilix being in shock.
Yeah. There we go. Giving it. It's like, we're here with your excuse. We're here with your.
Cool. All right.
All right.
All right, everybody. You all
Everybody
have a
have a-
wonderful day.